Most people right now are concerned with what's happening right now, and I have to admit, for this I don't have any better answers than what's happening right now. But I think it's essential to think about what will be afterwards. How will we deal with this world and with everything that's happening now? All the problems we are creating. How will we deal with all of that afterwards? As an example, let's take a hairdresser. The hairdresser today cannot leave his home anymore, cannot go to his job, to his work. Let's say he owns a little hairdresser salon. A little bit to, protect him or herself, but probably to the bigger part, as the hairdresser is, middle-aged, not in a risk group, the better part to protect the others, his customers, that the virus doesn't spread there in his salon, doesn't spread out, to protect the others. So it's a little bit for himself and for the most part for all the others. Slowing down the pandemic, slowing down the virus is helping all the others, helping our health systems, helping our system, supporting the system we have right here. So to support this system, the hairdresser has to stay at home, loses all his income, has to live off reserves if they're there or not, but interestingly enough still has to pay rent, so his landlord still earns. Not only has to pay rent for his place where he lives, but also has to pay rent for his salon. Although he cannot even be there anymore, he cannot even work there anymore, he cannot even generate the income or the revenue to pay for his rent anymore. And he still has to pay his mortgage rates, he still has to pay interest for money that he lent from his bank that keeps him working so he can earn some money, but right now he cannot earn some money because he stays home to support what's going on. So if I was the hairdresser, I would think, well, I support with my actions the landlords too, and the bankers too, so they don't get sick. I have no income anymore. I'm on the brink of bankruptcy if this goes on for a little longer while, and they still earn. Just because no people are involved, just because it's computer programs that move the figures from account to account, that's all. Like in the Middle Ages, the money still earns and the land still earns, that's it. Work kind of dies out. I think that this kind of solidarity that we ask from the people today can only be given if it's also received afterwards. And that means that it cannot be on my shoulders as the little hairdresser or as the little shop next door, as the little business, as every carpenter knows. It cannot be on the shoulders of my business and not involve the landlords and not involve the banks and not involve all many other people that are there. Because you know what? If I go bankrupt after this crisis because I didn't wash my hands and I stayed at home, a little bit for myself, but most part for you, I will never, ever participate in something again anymore. So whatever the next crisis will be, if you leave me out here, if I don't find a fair situation after that crisis for all of us, everyone who feels that this is not fair will not participate in the next crisis. And as we see and as we find out, obviously we have crises here now on a global scale that cannot be solved by centralized government or by one centralized person like a president, a king or somebody else. These crises, these issues of today, they obviously need all of us, every single person. So we have to take care of all of us, every single person, afterwards too, as a basis of our common understanding, as a new basis, a new understanding of who we are all together. Only in this way we can be prepared for our future. Imagine people today that say, well, you know what, no, you have let me down the last time. I'm not participating right now. What's happening in Italy now would be child's play compared to that. So I think it's the most important thing to start thinking about afterwards. I don't think that $1,000 or this or that, you know, a gift for people who are involved does any change at all. It doesn't help when you're facing bankruptcy. It doesn't help when you have the money at home for 1 week. Well, then you have the money at home for a few weeks, but then your job is gone, your customers are gone, yeah, your money is gone, your reserves are gone. No. We need something else right here. Some new ideas, some good ideas. Yeah. How will we be solidary with each other after this? Who will we be as one people after this? Think about it. And you know what? The whole idea is not that I'm talking and telling you stories here every once in a while. The idea is that we start discussing all of that. The idea is that we get together a momentum, you know, of people who are interested in these issues, who think about these subjects from, you know, different angles and different perspectives. So even if you're in an age bracket who is not logged into YouTube, is not logged into Google, yeah, please do it, because this is the only way that you can either subscribe and get the other videos here, the next ones that are coming, and then you can leave comments. You can start discussing all of that. Yeah, this is what we are here for. This is what we want to create here, a lively discussion, you know, so we can go on and go forward and develop our ideas here. And you know what? Please don't leave the discussion to all the young folks, because that's usually the people who are logged in and who are commenting. And that's important and that's valuable, but it's just not the only perspective on that planet. So even if you normally don't do it, log in, tell us what you think, participate in the discussion, because that's what it's all right about here. It needs the discussion between every one of us. We want to know what you think about it. We want to know, you know, what's going on out there. We want to know how our ideas reflect on what's going on, if this is something useful or not, and how we can continue developing these ideas. That will be just gorgeous. Thank you.